Alrighty guys, hello. Oh, I don't like that. It's not even taking. Is it even recording? Oh yeah, it's recording right where I can't see it. Oh! Okay, welcome back to StepMom Talk, where most of these videos are recorded and put up on a Monday, where today I'm recording on a Sunday. Sorry about the dog in the background. Stop. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try to cover you up. Okay, welcome back to StepMom Talk, where most of these are recorded on a Monday and put up on a Monday, but sometimes they're recorded and put up on a Tuesday. And I'm not in my vehicle today. So, pardon the animal in the back. I'm trying to cover her up because she's cleaning herself so rudely, but she wants to be anywhere I am. So, please try not to get distracted by her. But she's really cute, so it's kind of hard. But today I wanted to talk about one of my biggest fears, and it's probably like my top fear of being a stepmom, or even really basically a mom. I feel like this is for all of us, and not just stepmoms in general, but I feel like it's a fear for all of us. And it came up in church today when the pastor said when we stop putting our focus on God and following God, that we do tend to, our fears start to take over. And so, and he's like, you know, think about your fears. And so one of the things was that when we focus on God, then we have no reason to fear everything else, because God's going to take care of it. And by putting our focus on God in our relationship, building a strong relationship with God, everything else falls into place. And so I wanted to talk about like probably my top fear, and it's probably been my top fear. I mean, it's been my top fear probably since I was probably about 10 years old. And I think people go, 10 years old, you've been thinking about this? I'm like, wait, you were 10, 12, 14 years old? Probably somewhere around there. Like, that's crazy. Why? It has been my goal to be a parent for as long as I can remember. The amount of children I have wanted has always changed. It went from like, oh, I just want one because I want to put my love and devotion in one child. I can't possibly love more than one child. That has changed through the years. I know when I was like 10, I wanted like one kid, and then it was like, oh, maybe two. But then it didn't last for very long, because right when I was about 12 or so, I remember thinking, no, I love being out of a big family. When my sister Zoe was born, I was right about 12 or 13. I was 13, and I remember thinking, no, like, she was in my book the bomb.com. And I loved, therefore I was always like, I want at like 8 kids, and I had from that forward on never reverted back to how many kids I wanted. I always wanted a big family for that. I loved it and never would change it. I even said I wanted more younger siblings. I loved the bigger age gap too. And for some people that's like, that's insane, what are you talking about? Why would you want such a huge age gap? But when my us older 4 were born really, really close. There was 4 years and 8 months between me and the 4th, which is Hannah. And so we were all really close. We were stair steps. We have an incredible bond still to this day. And then there was the 13-year age gap between me and Zoe, and then another 2-year age gap between Zoe and Jake. So I was 13 with Zoe, and then I was 15 when Jacob was born. And so I loved it, and I really wished my parents would have kept having kids. But my parents were like, no, 6 and we're done. But ever since that day that she was born, I knew I wanted a lot of kids, and that was it. But also with that, from the time I was probably like 12 or 14 too, the more of the fear of not being a great parent came in, where I think the concern that what if I do not live up to not society's expectation, but my expectation of a good parent? What if I'm not a good parent? And I think some of that fear came because what if I'm not a good sister? And then what if I'm not a good parent? And some of that was probably because there was a bigger age gap. So I think for my younger siblings, they always had that, like, second, third, fourth, fifth parent, or parent, parents, because we were all kind of parenting them in a different way, and we all had that parenting role to an extent because we were so much older. And it's like, well, in my house, like, when they come to visit me, I have certain rules, and then in my sister's house, she has certain rules, and so on and so forth. So each of her siblings, we all have a different home, so we all have different rules in our house. So it's kind of like we're parenting them when they're here. Now, one is a teenager, one is a preteen, so it's a little different. But again, my parents have rules and we have rules, so it's almost like they have their parents, and then they have, like, these different sets of parents. So I think some of that too became because it was like we were kind of sort of parenting them, but then not. But then it was always like this fear, like, I don't want to ever look back and think, oh, I really screwed up my kids, or I really did not, I was not there for my kids, or I missed all the warning signs, or look back and think, I was so worried that they didn't have all the material things, or they weren't in the best schools, or they didn't have the best house, or they didn't have the best education, or they didn't have the best, that I was never there. Or that I was so busy climbing the ladder in my own career that I put off having kids, or that I was too harsh on my kids, or that I wasn't hard enough, or that I was too busy trying to be their friend, that I wasn't a parent, but my kid was going through something that I didn't see, that I was blind to it, or maybe that I was there's so many things, or maybe that I was so self-absorbed in what I was going through that I wasn't seeing what my child was going through, or that I just didn't want to deal with it, or whatever. And so there was always so many concerns that it's always been a fear, and a huge fear, that I would look back and have so many regrets on my kids' lives that I would just not know how to handle that, and I would forever have that built up regret. And then I would also have this and I would never call it selfishness, but I also had this thing where I was like, God, if it's not meant for me to have kids, then don't allow me to have them. Don't, no matter how many years I try, or what process I go through, whether I try to adopt, or I try to have children of my own, or whatever, don't allow me to have that. Or if I'm just supposed to, help somebody else raise theirs, and then that's it, and then I no longer, like, I don't have kids because I'm not supposed to see that whole process through, where maybe I just kind of come in at the end and I kind of guide at the end, and then that's it. That's one thing. Or if I'm never supposed to have kids, I just never get married, I never have kids, whichever the process is, or that I just never get pregnant, or whatever, whatever that is, that just never happens. If I'm going to fail miserably, my kids are going to be taken away, I'm going to do drugs, I'm going to end up really hurting a child worse than helping them. But it has always been truly a fear that my kids were going to end up being hurt worse than benefiting. And so it's, something that probably am not the only one out there that thinks that, or experiences that, and thinks, that there is that concern, like, what if? I definitely know from my childhood experience that kids don't have to have everything. Kids don't have to have their own bedroom to be happy. Kids don't have to have all the materialistic things in the world to be happy. Kids don't have to, kids need rules, and kids need structure, and kids need parents, and kids need, family time, and they need to learn values, and, everything. They don't need to have the best schools. They just need to have, they need an education. They need parents plugged in. They need a community. And your kid can be, they may need tutors and stuff like that. Hey, heck, we all need that at some point. I probably still need that. But so it is something that, you know, it has definitely weighed in on me. Do I have the answer now? Absolutely not. I still don't. I still have that fear. It did kind of today when he brought it in, it was like, yes, it's something that I've been praying about and, you know, been giving it to God and saying, you know, help me with this, to help me to build my relationship with you. And it was something I did today. It was like, help me build my relationship stronger with you so that I know what I'm doing is still very much impacting my children for the future and my life for the future and my relationship with you. Do I think that fear will ever go away? Probably not, because I feel like if it ever went away, I would feel extremely cocky. And I would be like, oh, yes, I'm just this amazing person, and I'm this amazing mom, and everybody should take notes from me. Because I'm not. I never will be. I never will be like this inspiring person. I just live my life, and I try to think, I don't want to look back and say, damn, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd have done that. I just kind of live my life in the moment and create the memories that I do. But I don't think that fear is ever going to go away. That I'm gonna think, am I being the best mom I can be? Whether it's to my son, to my daughter, to my future children, whether I have future children, am I, you know, and in that, you can say that really in any relationship, but, you know, right now, in this stepmom talk, am I being the best? I don't think that fear will ever go away. It's just definitely something I pray with every day. That did I miss a sign? Am I there? Am I doing exactly what I need to do? And I definitely think it is not the easiest thing to do, and it never will be. But there are often times where I look and I think to myself, I think to my kids, I think, you know, well, really to myself, when I'm sitting there and I'm doing something, I'm like, did I make the best out of this time? And it's not always about going and doing stuff. It's not always about stop. It's not always about, you know, going and doing stuff. It's not always about going and spending a ton of money. But did I do my best today? Did we do something that my child will remember? Did we spend our time as a family creating memories? That's my biggest thing. Was I there? Was I available? Was I available? That really should be the thing. Was I available to my child? I think that's the biggest thing. Was I available to my child when they needed me? Was I there to listen? And so I think that's the biggest thing. Because a video game's not there for your child. It's not available for your child. I mean, it's available to entertain your child, but it can't give feedback. Computer's available to entertain your child, but it can't really give the feedback that it needs. You know, it's like food. Food's available. Food feeds you, but is it nutrition that you need? It's like friends are available. Friends are there, but are they going to give your child the wisdom they need? So, was I available? Did I create memories that may have made a lasting impact on my child? So, that's basically, but do I think that fear will ever go away? No. I think it's always going to be on the back of my mind, because I never think that I'll ever feel like I accomplished my goal, that I'm like this amazing, perfect parent, that's it, I did it, you know, come take notes from me. I think the biggest thing is just, am I available? Am I there? Alright guys, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please link them down below. I just wanted to tell you my fear. It is one that, yeah, I've had forever, and it's never going to go away. I've had it for a long time, and you know what? I feel like as we share our fears, it helps build us to be stronger people, and it helps us to realize that, hey, we're not in this alone. And you know what? We all have fears, and maybe you have a different fear than I do, but we all have them. So thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.